Now before we get into this video, allow me to show you a quick video by Dr. Amos Wilson, and then let's get into the conversation.
When you want to destroy a people, as we will talk a bit about later on, you destroy the nature of their romantic love, destroy their ability to love one another in a healthy sort of way. And we will see. When you see and you think about the problems we have as people and as individuals in loving each other romantically, you must recognize in good part that problem and those problems have been set up by a political social system. Because we shall see that love, the love that we have for one another, is the greatest threat to the people who rule over us. And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why, even if you're concerned with your individual love for your boyfriend or your husband, you cannot separate that love from what is going on in the world, politically and socially. Because the nature of that love is defined by the political, social circumstances. And if you can't understand why you have problems in your love relations, perhaps a good part of it is because you have not taken time to understand the nature of the political, social situation in which you live. Because you have been made to think that your love is merely the concern of you and your partner and not rooted in what is going on in the world.
We present to you Rome Productions.
What's good, black people? If you're a first time viewer of my content and of this video, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. As you can see, we are discussing something that is a bit controversial, but I have a particular concept concerning this very analysis upon this video, where I am going to give you my particular perspectives upon the basis of chivalry, and even concerning this video on whether or not a man should open the door. Now, I never really thought that this was an actual conversation that people were actually having, and that it was that important for people to actually be talking about it, and it's trending on Twitter. And so basically, let's get into the video, and then I'm going to give you my analysis. Also, we are going to be breaking down particular concepts of the video, and then I will get into the analysis of chivalry.
On the first date, bro, if she give you that address, ring that doorbell.
What?
No, ring the doorbell. Listen, I'm gonna teach my daughters just exactly this. If she gave the guy the address, now if you about to meet up with him, that's different. But if she gave the guy the address and he just texting you, he just texting you to come outside, you don't even say, this is what I'm gonna teach him. You can say that I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna teach my daughters. He already started off wrong. I'm sorry, I'm good. He already crossed the line. What do you mean? You ring that doorbell, and for her to come outside. All this texting, I'm outside the whole 9 yards. Nah, he got to show some goddamn chivalry, something that has to happen.
That sounds poetic.
For real.
And I know that, I understand that you're speaking in the sense that you have a daughter, so you want your daughter to be treated a certain way. And I 100% agree with you. However, I am not opening your door. You're getting 4 letters, H-E-R-E. That means I'm here. That means come outside. And that means when we go, like whatever our plans are, we're gonna go do what our plans were set to do.
You can see on the face of the black woman, he said something that was a bit messed up, all right? But let's break this down, right? As you can see, the man to his left, or to his right, to my left, he basically said something that was a bit more mature and on a higher basis than the man to his left, to my right. And so basically, as you can tell, the man who is in the blue is a bit younger, probably around my age, maybe he's about 25, 26, maybe, whatever the case may be. The man who is, in the green, probably like maybe early 30s, whatever the case is. I'm just taking some guesses just based upon what's being, said here in the video. And what I'm getting here is that for the man in the green, he said that in order for you to pursue a woman that you really see value in, and just you being a man, you are to go out of the way to ring the doorbell, make sure that she is safe, walk with her to the car, and so on and so forth, right? Now, the man in the blue says, well, I just don't believe in doing that. You know, I'm here and I'm going to text you H-E-R-E, that I'm here and you need to get your tail down here so we can go wherever we need to go. Now, my particular analysis here is that we're dealing with two different perspectives. One that is a bit more mature and what some people will call old school, and then the new generation here and what other people will call Generation Z, and where he's talking about, you know, texting, you need to come down here, and then we dim. Now, me personally, just the way that I have been personally raised, you go to the house, you go to the particular apartment or whatever the case is, and you know, you introduce yourself, you know, hey, I'm here, you ready, and then y'all both go. You know what I'm saying? Again, it might be different for different people, whatever the case is, however people go, however people sway. You know, I won't say this is as controversial as what people are making it out to be, at least in this part. You know what I'm saying? I know some people, they get it messed up, and we're going to watch another video where, you know, they clip the part with the man in the blue where he's talking about how I'm not opening no door. We're going to get into the chivalry part later on in this video. But concerning this particular place here, we're dealing with two different perspectives. I respect both of the perspectives. Me personally, I'm leaning more on the person in the green because I understand where he's coming from, and personally, that's just how I have been raised.
I'm not getting out of the car to open your door or to meet you at the door or to ring your doorbell when you could just walk downstairs. Honestly, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I personally believe, and this is just my personal perception of me and my friends and all the females that we have dealt with collectively, chivalry is almost dead. It's on its last leg. So maybe I might hold the door open for you, yeah, but I'm not getting out of my car to ring your doorbell to tell you to come downstairs to get back in the car. That actually doesn't even make sense.
No, I just want to hear everybody else's response.
All right, so I'm gonna be real quick then. Going to the door.
Oh, Jesus.
I will not go to the door, but I will open the car door. Reason why I'm not gonna go to your door, I'm gonna be on Rico with that. It's too much damn work. Listen, I'm already picking the place to where we eating. I'm paying for it. I clean my car. I put on my Sunday's best. I did all of that. I'm coming from here to Hellpeck to pick you up. I'm texting you, H-E-R-E, piggybacking off of what Rico said. I am here. I'm giving you the 5 minutes, 10 minutes ahead of time. That's courtesy. So I'm letting you know, but I will not ring your doorbell before I say your father, like a damn rock, and question me, what are your intentions with my daughter? I don't know. This ain't the 1995. Bro, you should have had that talk with your daughter. You should have the recon on me already. You don't need to ask me no questions.
Now, one point that I will agree with him is at the very end, where he put it in the perspectives of ringing the doorbell, telling you, hey, I'm downstairs, you know, get ready, all this type of stuff, and then he gets back in his car waiting for her, whatever the case is, which I'm assuming that's where he's coming from. If not, let me know. But now we're dealing with chivalry. He says that chivalry is almost dead and it's on its last leg. Now, we're going to deal with that particular part, like I said, later on in the video, where this woman responds to what he said, because a lot of women were really in ups with what this man had to say, put it on Twitter. This one woman said he needs to be avoided at all costs. All right, that's what they said. So we're going to be dealing with the concept of chivalry later on in this video. But he said that he personally is not going to open the door for somebody, or he would open the door for somebody, but he's not going to go the extra mile to get out of his car, ring the doorbell, tell you, hey, you know, I'm ready, all those type of stuff, then get back in his car and wait for her. He says also that he's not going to be having this conversation with the father on what are your intentions for my daughter. He's like, this ain't the 1990s, he says, right? This ain't like a Bad Boys scene where the man rings on the doorbell and there's Will and Martin there and they're being interrogated by, you know, by the father. which I do understand where he is coming from. Me personally, you know, when I interact with particular women and, you know, we go out, whatever the case is, I never really have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? If me and her are going out, we usually either we meet up or maybe I pick her up and, you know, like the same thing, you know, ring her doorbell or, you know, meet with her at her dorm, whatever the case is, because I'm in college, right? So when we out here meeting up or whatever the case is, I don't have to go to their house. I go to their dorm, or she comes to meet me, and you know, stuff like that. You know, so I ain't out here going to people's houses and stuff like that. That's just not my personal experience, at least not yet. But you know, like what he was talking about, you know, he don't want to go through the particular experience of, you know, having this conversation with the father. What are your intentions for my daughter? And you know, 9 out of 10, these men are lying to the father because they're not going to tell the father, oh, we're going to yep, I'm going to the entire out of your daughter. Nobody's going to say that. I mean, for real, nobody's going to say that. I'm getting the yammy whammies. Now, getting on to the part where we are going to be demonstrating chivalry. All right, I have my particular perceptions on chivalry, but let's deal with what this particular black woman had to say concerning the analysis upon what the man in the blue had to say. All right, so let's break this down just very quickly, and then I'll get into my particular analysis on chivalry. So she said that if one of her sons ever, you know, deal with a woman like this in the way that the man in the blue does, she's going to embarrass her sons and be like, nah, he ain't worth it. You know, you could do better. Now, me personally, I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be in all your children's business when they out here being, you know, adults. You know what I'm saying? You out here getting in their business and all those type of stuff. That's just me personally, all right? And that's just me coming from the perspective, I'm 22. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my mother being out here if I have particular perceptions that are different from yours. You know, my particular ways in which I coordinate with women different from yours, and then you out here, oh girl, you don't need, you know, don't emasculate your son in front of the women that he's with. You know what I'm saying? That's beyond me. That's just how I personally see it.
The thing that really turned my tummy when I hear shit like this, when I hear dudes talking like this, just yapping off at the mouth, is that some chick that made him feel like this okay. Some chick that made him feel like that it's okay to be sitting in the car when you pulling up at my house. I wish I would hear one of my sons talking like this. I'm gonna tell the chicks leave. He ain't even cut like that. I'm gonna be a hating ass mama, period, if I have to be. Not gonna be embarrassing me like that. Boy, you was raised right. Who are you, darling? Who are you? Someone that was raised in some sense, so you better act like you got some. I'm playing none of them games. Bare minimum, if you're trying to get to know somebody, you're trying to date somebody, you should care about their well-being. You should care about, you know, presenting yourself respectfully. You should want them to have some type of respect for you. So walking to them to the car or knocking on the front door, that's just being respectful, y'all. That's it. Opening the car door, that's honoring. That's okay. This dude right here sound like a brat.
I've heard some women in the comment section, they say stuff like, oh, does he treat his mother like that? Does he treat his grandmother like that? Now, first off, you know what I'm saying? And aside from what's going on in the video, you can't compare yourself to you cannot compare yourself to his goddamn mother. His mother gave birth to him. His grandmother gave birth to his mother, who gave birth to him. You can't compare yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these girls out here, some of these females out here think that if they disrespect you, if they don't have any respect for you personally, or they treat you a certain way, that they treat their mother a certain way. And I can see where you get that from, because if they treat women wrong, then it shows and it reflects on how he treats his mother. But in this particular scenario, because we're dealing with this respect scenario of dating, you know, dating life and how, you know, the first date and whatever the case is, you can't compare, you know, opening the door and him meeting up with you at the door, comparing to how he should treat his mother and how he does treat his mother. Two different scenarios. You can't compare yourself or put yourself in the same position. Riddle me this, Batman. If chivalry is specifically to identify the qualifications of a knight and how a person or a man is supposed to conduct himself in a knightly conduct, and this is coming from other sets of people, then we are given an ideology or a perception or a conception of other sets of people in which how we are supposed to coordinate ourselves. Can us as Afrocentric people, us as African descent people, can we coordinate ourselves one to another, man to woman, brother to sister? Can we coordinate ourselves under the analysis and the principles of another set of people? How to be a gentleman, how to be a man. We can't coordinate ourselves under laws and principles and concepts and ideologies that were never made for us to begin with. Do you see what I'm saying? The very conception of opening the door comes from another set of people, because the knight would open the tavern door for his date or for the maiden. Even the conception on whether or not you think a man is good because he didn't open the door for you, he didn't pull out the seat in front of the table in front of you. But these ideologies and these conceptions weren't given to us by us. These conceptions were given to us by another set of people. The people who conditioned us and brainwashed us into thinking that a good man does this, that, and the third. How can we as a set of people argue about chivalry being alive or dead when chivalry wasn't created by us or for us? Do you see what I'm saying? These ideologies of a man being a gentleman, being chivalrous, when you look at the origin and where it dates back to, this has nothing to do with us as black people. In order for us to actually gain something from this, this will have to be something that came from us. I made a tweet earlier today, and it says chivalry is not alive or dead for us as black people because the conversation and ideology of it in itself is westernized. Every culture teaches a man how to treat their women, and the same and vice versa. If a set of people have no culture, well then, you know the rest. Every set of people, and for people who practice chivalry and they're in a good relationship, well, I practice chivalry and I'm married to. Listen. Do you? All right. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. All right. You can respectfully disagree with me. All I'm saying is, for me personally, I don't contribute or subscribe to chivalry, because I don't subscribe to ideologies or philosophies or conceptions on how I should treat my own women by other sets of people. Every set of people have a culture that was created for them and by them. And culture tells you how to contribute yourself to not only your people, but how you should respect and love your own women. How is it that black people don't have a culture in this society, and yet we are arguing on conceptions that were created by other sets of people for their culture, for their society, for their people? If a set of people are looking to other people on how they should coordinate and condition and cooperate themselves, then we are in deep trouble. We can't, as black people, claim that we're independent and we're better than you and we could do this, that, and the third, and you can't live without us, and we the trendsetters and we built everything, and yet you are still begging, pleading to massa for votes.
I just wanna live. Black Lives Matter. Hands up, don't shoot. I can't breathe.
You over here just singing, tap dancing, marching.
We shall overcome.
In conclusion, I don't subscribe to chivalry because chivalry is an ideology that was created by another set of people for another set of purposes. For black women to say that a man isn't a good man because of this, that, and the third, when these particular ideologies of things such as opening the door and all this other type of stuff dates back to something. And mind you, right? If we're going to the store or if we're going to a restaurant or a particular place and there's a door, the instinct of people is to open the door for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Now, I literally had a conversation with somebody and she tried to turn this into a debate. Like, you wouldn't open the door? You wouldn't open the car door for me? Like, I do not understand. Why are you so pressed about me not wanting to open a car door for you. And I literally explained to her what I explained to you. I literally explained to her that even the concept of opening a door, much less just opening the door in general, and you having an issue with me not opening the door for you, there's an issue with that because that conception didn't come from you. That concept came from another set of people. The ideology of chivalry comes from another set of people. We have to create our own principles and our own basis of what it means to be a good man and a good woman, and what it means to be a gentleman and a lady. But until next time, I'm Tyrone. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what I had to say, if you did not like what I had to say, let all your thoughts and comments be known in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm Tyrone again. Thank you for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other people. Until next time, I'm Tyrone, and I am out. I mean, you have some black people out here who continuously try to fit into a society where they were never made to fit in the first place. It's like trying to put a circle into a square, and it doesn't matter how hard you try to jam the circle into the square, it's never going to fit because the circle was never made to fit in the square. The same way for black people trying to think that they can coordinate themselves in this society and not run into any problems or troubles. Why do we keep going through this as people? You want to literally assimilate yourself into spaces that were never made for you. And then when your children are in trouble, oh my. I hate this. I really do. I hate this.